What is up, guys? Jordan here with the Deck Box, coming back to you today with a new Ultra Prism deck that we are going to be trying out on PTCGO. We're actually going to be playing against my good friend Matt. He's going to be helping me out. I told him pick 3 decks. Don't let me know what they are. Just pick 3 decks, and you're going to play it against this, and we'll see how it does. So as you can see, it is our new Garchomp Lucario list, which we have profiled before, but now we're actually going to profile it on PTCGO so that you can see how it plays and how it sets up. But real quick, we're going to run through this list, and then we're going to hop onto the ladder, or not the ladder, sorry. We're just going to face off against Matt in these best of 3. So obviously we are playing a Garchomp line, and the way we're playing it is a 4 Gible, 2 Gabite, 3 Ultra Prism Garchomp, and 1 Breakpoint Garchomp, which the Breakpoint, whoops, is this guy right here. So we'll talk about the main Garchomp first. It is a stage 2 Pokemon with 150 HP. It is Dragon type, which is kind of the downside right now, but in the next set it will be coming out as a fighting type, and in my opinion it's way better than the Dragon type. The fighting type is just going to be insanely good. You can use Strong Energy, so it'll be nasty when it comes out for sure. But anyway, so this card has 2 attacks. First attack, Quick Dive for a DCE. This attack does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance for bench Pokemon. So just, you know, kind of like what Ninetales has with Ice Path? No, Ice Blade. I forget. I think it's Ice Blade. Just does a quick 50 to whatever Pokemon you want, which is pretty nice. There are some weaker basic Pokemon that you can snipe, Gible being one of them, 50 HP. You can snipe it, take an easy prize, or just set up knockouts for later. Then moving on, we do have Royal Blades. This is the main attack you're going to focus on. For 1 fighting and 2 colorless, Royal Blades does 100 plus damage. If you played Cynthia from your hand during this turn, this attack does 100 more damage. So if you're doing the math, that's 200, 230 with a Choice Band. You're taking down pretty much all the main Pokemon right now. The only things I can think of that you're not are like the big metal Pokemon, which again, use Quick Dive, set up some attacks that way, and we have other ways to take big knockouts on those as well. We'll get to that in a minute. And you could play Devoured Field if you really wanted to do an additional 10 damage, so you can take down Decidueyes with 1 shot. I wouldn't recommend it. I tested it. It's not as good as the way it is now. The way it is now, it's much more consistent, which I think is what you want. And lastly, the main thing to note, this has Free Retreat. As a stage 2 Pokemon, that is your main attacker with Free Retreat. It's insanely good. It's also a 1 prize attacker, so that is why we are playing this as our main attacker. This Garchomp we play one of for mainly the Turbo Assault. You can set up more Pokemon on the bench if you're behind in the game or you just want to set up faster. I tend to use this in 2 different scenarios. 1, if I'm behind and I really need to just start setting up the bench. Or 2, if I'm up against something that's weak to fighting, like a Zoroark. Because with a Strong Energy, you're doing 80. Choice Band, you're at 110, which will one-shot a Zoroark with weakness doing 220 damage. So something to consider. Turbo Assault is really good for that. Bite Off is also really good. So if you don't have a Strong Energy, you can just have the Choice Band and 2 fighting, and you can also do the same damage. So this is a really good card. Not as much HP, but it's really good. It has a different weakness, and it has Free Retreat. So that's why we do play both. It's a nice, really good inclusion. Then talking about the Gible. So the Gible, you want to play the Ascension one. I know there's been a lot of debate. There's this other one. Let's see what it is. There's the button. So the other one, oh, it's not bringing up the other one. Okay, here we go. So there's 2 new ones from Ultra Prism. There's the Rock Hiding one, has the ability, if this Pokemon has any fighting energy attached to it, it has no retreat cost. Which sounds nice, but I mean, yeah, you get to attach and get out of the active if you don't want to be in the active, but really what I'd much rather do is attach my energy and use Ascension, so I now have an 80 HP Gabite. So I essentially go from having 60 HP to 80, you know, in comparison to this one. So I'd much rather have Ascension. I can set up faster that way and get things rolling. And then also we play the Ascension Gabite, so we can 2 turns Ascension if we need to, and have our Garchomp set up. But typically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to use Ascension on your first attacking turn, so you're going to be a Gabite on turn 2, and you're hopefully going to have Garchomp in your hand and have it set up, and then attach a DCE and start swinging. So that is why we play the Ascension one. It's much more expedient, sets things up faster. So I know, like I said, there's been debate over the Ability one or the Ascension one. I've heard some people say, oh, do 2-2. I wouldn't do that. straight Ascension, you can set up much faster, and to me, setting up is the way to go with a Stage 2 deck. Next, we do play 2 of the new Lucario from Ultra Prism. This is a really good card. Like if I could play a 3-3 line in this, I would. It's just kind of tight though, and 2-2 is just, it's working amazingly. But what it does, it has the Precognitive Aura ability. Once during your turn, before you attack, if you have Garchomp in play, you may search your deck for a card and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So, you're probably worried about making sure you have your Cynthia for a turn. Lucario can just go straight in your deck, grab the Cynthia, you're swinging for 200, 230, you're taking your 2 prizes and moving on. You do that a few times, you win the game. This also helps you to grab rare candy so you can set up more Garchomp, Float Stone to get something out of the active, and energy, anything you can think of. Lucario is going to grab it for you, and it's just insanely good. To me, it's better than Lele. And I know that seems odd, but once you get Lucario out there, it's able to do it every single turn, and it doesn't have to be a supporter. It can be an item or an energy or Pokemon. There's no limit on what it can grab. And so to me, it's much better. Again, it's just a 1 prizer. It's really good. It has Missile Jab. This effect isn't this attack's damage isn't affected by resistance, so that's decent. You're not really going to use this attack unless, again, you go up against something with Zoroark. You can do a Strong Energy, Fighting Energy on this. You're doing 90 damage. Choice Band 120, which will one-shot a Zoroark with weakness. Something to consider if you're in a tight spot, but it's not going to be your fallback. So this is definitely a great card in the list. You're not going to play Garchomp and not play Lucario in the list. It just doesn't make sense. They go hand in hand. So we do play 2 of those. Then this is kind of the spice of the deck, is a 1/1 Lycanroc line. And of course we play it for Bloodthirsty Eyes ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon. So what's so great about this is something that I had issue with whenever I first looked at Garchomp is I'm like, well, I can't knock out what I want to knock out. You know, they're going to put something in the active that they're willing to give up, and I'm not going to be able to take a nice knockout because I can't use Guzma and Cynthia in the same turn. But you actually can, because you can use Lycanroc. So you play down Lycanroc, do Bloodthirsty Eyes, you grab a huge GX Pokemon, and then you play your Cynthia, and then your Garchomp takes it down. So again, multiple supporters in one turn, plus you get to look in your deck with Lucario, just all going hand in hand. It's just a nasty combo. It also has 2 attacks. Claw Slash does 110 for a fighting and DCE, so not bad. Again, if you're going up against something that's fighting weak, Lycanroc might be a decent backup attacker for you. And really, what's great is you can use Dangerous Rogue GX, 50 times damage. You do 50 damage times each of your opponent's bench Pokemon for just a fighting and a colorless. That's a really good attack because you don't have a GX attack to use. And this is an opportunity, once he has evolved and you've used Bloodthirsty Eyes, you can Guzma a big GX Pokemon and take it out because they're going to have a full bench most likely. A lot of these decks nowadays are filling up their bench. So either they don't fill up their bench because they're afraid of Lycanroc, or they do fill up their bench and you take advantage of it. And this would be a good chance to take advantage of on a metal deck that has a 250 HP Pokemon. So you can take a one-shot with Lycanroc. So this will be your only GX attack in the deck that you can use. Excuse me. And I would suggest using it if you absolutely need to, but don't make it your focus. Then we do have 2 Tapu Lele-GX. We use this for the Wonder Tag ability to be able to get any Pokemon, or I'm sorry, any supporter out of our deck. And then of course, Energy Drive is actually decent in this deck if you need it. Then onto the items. We do play 1 Field Blower. Of course, if we come up against a Garbotoxin deck, that could shut us down, and we need Lucario's abilities online. I know 1 seems low, but we do play puzzles so we can get it back. Excuse me. So 1 is really appropriate, and honestly, there's not a ton of Garbodor going around right now. Excuse me. And then this is a card that I have really come to love, Multi Switch. I'm able to move an energy from one of my bench Pokemon to my active, so I can do these just really spicy knockouts, particularly with Lycanroc or Garchomp. I can just play them down, attach an energy, put them into the active, use Multi-Switch to move an energy from another Pokemon, and then I have a fully set up Pokemon that's just ready to attack and take a knockout. Multi-Switch is really good in this deck, and I'm finding a lot more utility with Multi Switch in these fighting decks. I don't know if it's because that's really the only time I've tried it, but it just makes the most sense. You know, we used it in our Lycanroc Zoroark list, and using it in this Garchomp list just makes total sense. Then we do play 2 Pal Pad. This is a card that was reprinted. It was originally in Flashfire, so if you have that copy, it's usable too. But they reprinted it in Ultra Prism. You're able to shuffle 2 supporter cards from your discard pile into your deck. In this deck, Pal Pad is essentially VS Seeker, because we're able to grab, you know, a couple Cynthias or a Cynthia and a Guzma, and then use Lucario, go into our deck, grab the Cynthia, take a knockout. So you can just kind of see all these cards are going really well together. There's no card that's kind of out of place. They all have a purpose, and that purpose is to take knockouts. They all go towards the same thing. So that's why we play 2 of those. Then we play 4 puzzles for a couple reasons. One, if we don't have Lucario out and we have a couple puzzles, we can use that to grab our Cynthias. And then, of course, just to get back any of these low count items like Field Blower or Multi Switch. I was actually able to use Multi Switch twice in one game because of puzzles, and both times it mattered. So it's really key to get those back. You can get your energies back, you can get your Pokemon back. Just a really, really solid card, and we're seeing a lot more play right now with puzzles. So if you don't have puzzles, try to pick up a playset of them. You're never going to play less than a playset of puzzles in your deck, so you need to have a playset if you plan on playing these. Next, we play 3 Rare Candy, which I know seems low, but the reason I cut it down so low is because of Ascension on Gible and Gabite, and so far it has worked perfectly. Plus, with the capability of Lucario to be able to dig through the deck and grab whatever card I need, I can search out my Rare Candies once I have a Garchomp up and get much more use out of them. Plus, I have puzzles, I can get them back. Just a lot of different ways to use those. Then we have 4 Ultra Ball, pretty self-explanatory. Just dig through our deck to get whatever Pokemon we need. Then we have 2 Brigettes to set up our deck. I will say this deck, for some reason, it's been giving up quite a few mulligans, but we still win every time. I don't know how. But a lot of times we don't end up needing our Lele. Like, we'll go a whole game, no Lele's ever played. We just start with our Brigette, or we start with enough Pokemon, it's not a big deal. And then the rest of the game we have Lucario to search for our supporters. So between Brigette and Lucario, like, you're set to not really have to use your Lele's too often, so you're not going to be giving up 2 prizes very often. So really solid card. Then, of course, the draw supporters, we have 4 Cynthia. This will be the supporter you use almost every single turn, just so you can take knockouts. So pretty much plan on that. If you don't know what it does, you shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 6 cards. So it's not like we're having to play a card that's no good to get an attack off. We're playing a really, really good card and taking really good knockouts. So definitely an awesome card. Again, in the new set, try to get your playset of those if you can. I know IRL, they're ranging from like $350 to $550 depending on rarity. And then, of course, there's that crazy $90 full art one that you could get if you really wanted to. But definitely get your playset of those online and in person if you can. And then we do play 2 Guzma. This is just for the off chance that we need to stall something, or like I said, we can take knockouts with Lycanroc, or the other Garchomp can do some damage, and of course Lele can as well. But that's why we just play 2. Maybe we need to stall something. Yeah, and plus there are going to be times we can take really easy knockouts on something that doesn't require us to hit for 200. We can hit something for 100, like a little basic, and take it down. So Guzma is still good in this deck. I would not. I wouldn't cut your other supporters just because you need Cynthia to take your knockouts with Garchomp. I would just do some supplementing and make sure that whatever supporters you include makes sense and that you actually can do something with them. And then we play 2 N. This is really just to disrupt our opponent, or if it's a turn that we don't need Cynthia, we know we're going to take a knockout, maybe we still need more cards, we can play N to shuffle up. And then moving on, whoop. Sorry, hit the wrong button. Then moving on from there, we play 4 Choice Band. This is so we can hit that 230 mark, and so that we can one-shot Zoroarks with our other Garchomp. And with Lycanroc, actually, we can take much bigger knockouts with that GX attack if we really need to. Then we play 1 Float Stone. This is just in case we get anything stuck in the active. And yes, I know it's a low count, but again, we play puzzles, we play Lucario. Lucario can search for the Float Stone. We can get things moved around the way we need to. And with our main attacker having free retreat, it's not a big deal. Then for energy count, we do play 2 Strong Energy. This is for the Breakpoint Garchomp, because like I said, it can hit much better numbers with the Strong Energy. Lucario can use it, and of course Lycanroc-GX GX attack will need it in some cases. So that's really why we play just 2 strong energy. Again, low count, we can get in the back with puzzles, we can use Lucario. You know the party line. The party line for anytime someone asks, well, why such a low count? The answer is Lucario and puzzles, and it works perfectly. Then we play 4 DCE. This is required for our main Garchomp to attack, and for Lycanroc in some cases, and Lele in some cases. So that's why I play 4 of those. And then we play 6 Fighting Energy. This is just to make sure that we can get our Fighting Energy so that we can preferably use Ascension early on, and then later in the game we'll need it, of course, to use Royal Blades. So yeah, guys, so there's the list. Now we're going to hop on and get some matches with Matt. Okay, guys, so we're going to be doing a few matches against one of my good friends, Matt. We were testing a little bit online. I told him I had to do some recording, and he volunteered to be today's opponent, I guess. So we're going to do 3 matches with our Garchomp Lucario list that I just went over with you guys. And I told him to pick 3 good decks, preferably, you know, newer ones that people are looking at. But I told him to pick 3 decks of his choice, and we're going to go through and you know, see how Garchomp does against them. And all right, he's canceled it. Hold on. Okay, he did that by mistake. Whoops. All right, so I'll challenge him again. And then, of course, you know, we had the profile at the beginning of this video, but if you'd like, there's another video that has kind of a nice clean layout of the list. You could go and watch that as well. But yeah, we had a lot of hype on that video, so that is why we're choosing to play it online as well, so that we can show you guys how it works, and you know, just kind of showcase it. So now what I'm curious to see is what Matt has chosen to play, because that could make a difference with this matchup. And we do give up a mulligan. And I will say this, in my testing, I've had that happen quite a bit, where I give up a mulligan. But pretty much 9 out of 10 matches, though, I start with one of my Brigettes, or enough Pokemon where I don't have to use Lele. And here we get both of them. And we gave up, oh my gosh, we gave up 4 mulligans. Okay, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting no matter what the matchup is. But we do have our Brigette, so, you know, that's okay. Depending on what he's playing, we could use this Garchomp. This Garchomp has been putting in some work against Zoroarks. It just, it wrecks him. Okay, so he's playing the thing that we just tested with, and it did not go well for me, if I'm being honest. It's the Leafeon Lurantis list, the promo Lurantis, to allow Leafeon to do 20 more damage for each Lurantis that's out there. It's actually pretty good, and it does well against this list because it's one of the few GXs that can take down Garchomp with 1 hit, just from the boost from Lurantis. So it's an interesting concept. I really like it. You know, obviously if you go up against a 2-prize deck, you're probably taking 2 prizes with it, but if you're not, you're still able to take a hit. It has that healing capability, so we'll see how this goes. And the good thing is he doesn't have Leafeon in the active yet, but he can't even attack this turn. Next turn is whenever we really have to worry about it. We have a Cynthia for turn 2. That's good. I want to get our Riolu, because key to this is we need to have Lucario out there. If we have Lucario out there, we're in good shape, because we can just kind of pick whatever card we want. Of course, we have to have our Garchomp set up as well, but that's not too difficult. That's not out of the question. Sorry, guys. I'm making sure my mic is appropriately placed. It seems close to me. Alright, so now he is going to be able to get off that Grand Bloom GX. He's going to get 2 Octillery, and I imagine 3 Lurantis. This is just insane. What a setup. So that does an additional 60, so now he'll be able to swing for 170. So he's going to one-shot all of our Garchomps, which is just not good. But we can one-shot Leafeon as well. We just have to make sure that, that we get things set up. So see, everyone has been playing Leafeon with the Decidueye. I would prefer a list like this with Lurantis instead, because it makes Leafeon better. What? Oh, okay. It wiggles whenever it's done. Okay. But to me, this makes Leafeon better as opposed to using Decidueye, especially with Glaceon out right now. He did the thing. And it was nasty. It was nasty. I told him to make me look good, but that's not going to happen. Okay, so, alright. Yeah. We'll do this for now. We have our Multi Switch. We can always get it back. We have Cynthia for next turn. We have Cynthia in our hand. We have puzzles. So, alright, so we'll start just by poking this Leafeon, see if we can weaken it up. That way, if we need to knock it out other than using Garchomp one-shot, then we can. The only problem is he's got the healing. So he can heal 50 each time, so he's going to go down to 10. So we're going to have to keep working at it. Really what we want to do, as weird as it sounds, we want to take these Lurantis out, because he can now swing for 150, which is all he needs to swing for. And he uses the Lucario to take big knockouts as well. He can do 160 with Solar Blade, and he can use Flower Supply to set up more grass energy. So, and Gakui, he's going to knock out Lele. My gosh. Alright. Oh, no, he didn't have a DCE to do anything. And he didn't use his ability. Huh. I am okay with that. So 60, we're swinging for 90. Alright. I could move that and hope to hit a DCE, which would be 5, 6 is 120, 150 would knock him out. I think I'd do it. And we'll just puzzle it back, so we can use it again later. And we'll put back a Cynthia. Those will both go back into our deck. So if we hit a DCE, we knock out Leafeon. And we do. Wow. Okay. Cool. We'll do that. Place that down. We'll play this guy. We'll hold on to the rest of our hand for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 120, 150. Alright, so we do take him out. And it's really just because he forgot to use his ability. Had he used his ability, he would have been safe. Let me make sure. 50 damage from him. Yeah, he could have healed 50. Still be alive. Barely, but he'd still be alive. Alright, so he's going to Field Blower that Choice Band, which that's okay with us. We have a Gabite in our hand, so we can start setting up a Garchomp, sooner rather than later. We can put a Strong Energy on Lucario if we ever want to use him. He could one-shot an Octillery, so that would not be the worst thing in the world. Of course, we do have the Strong Energy to go on Lycanroc as well in case we needed it. But really, Lycanroc's just there for that ability. And, of course, if we go against something that has 250 HP or 240 like a Decidueye or a Metagross or something like that, then that's when that would be used. There's that Hala. So in this list, Matt and I have actually talked about this list quite a bit. I had messed around a little bit originally with just a bunch of Promo Lurantis and then the Turtonator, and he chose to mix it up with this GX one. And we talked about using Hala over Sycamore, which makes sense. We can draw 7 because we're going to be using Grand Bloom right away. He does play the Turtonator as well. The big difference, though, is he included the GX and I believe only 2 promo. I was messing around with 4 just to go all out to do 100 with Shell Trap, which is just nasty. So we can swing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 120 on this guy. I would love to top deck a rare candy. Nope. Alright. So we'll do this. I'm not going to play... Well... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 100. How much HP? Let's do that. It's got 1 retreat, right? Yeah, 1 retreat. So we're actually going to take down one of his promos. I feel like that is an appropriate move. That way we can prevent him from doing 150, he would have to have a choice, or not choice band, a Kukui to do 150 against our Garchomps. Now, of course, he could use Lurantis well, no, he couldn't use Lurantis GX's GX attack because he's already used Leafeon, so that's good news. So right now we're actually in an okay spot, even though we have a ton of energy committed to Lele, and no Garchomp set up yet, which is really odd for this list, but we do have Ultra Ball in hand. We'll be able to get a Garchomp, and then we can use Lucario to get some energy. You know, we're going to get this thing rolling for sure. I'm not too worried about it. Let's see, will he be able to... He could knock us out with Lurantis GX, which at this point may actually be the better option for him. He may just choose to hold back and try to build something up to get, you know, big. That way, once he knocks out Lele, he can take down Garchomps, which will be the real threat when they are set up. And we see another Hala. Now, the biggest issue for him is his deck. He's down to 12 cards left. He has shrunk down his deck quite a bit to get what he needs. Alright, so he is going to take his first knockout here, which is to be expected. Slide Gabite into the active here. 120, 140 if he gets a Kukui. Alright, so we'll do this here. We'll use this Ultra Ball. We will put... How much would it be doing? 120. Could use the other one and start... could use this guy. Yeah, let's do that. That way we can start doing some damage and setting up another one in the background, because we'll use Lucario. We'll use Lucario after the Cynthia. Alright, so we have Choice Band. I'll use Lucario to grab a Gabite. And if this Garchomp survives this hit, we should be able to get another Garchomp up, use DCE, Multi Switch Cynthia, and knock out whatever's in there. Really what we're just going for now is getting some energy set up, and actually doing a decent amount of damage as well. Do we want to get the DCE back? Or fighting energy? We'll use DCE first, because we can get fighting energy a lot easier. Oh shoot, he has the promo on the bench, so if he gets one more energy, which he chose not to put on Lurantis, it's interesting, but he can still knock me out with Leafeon's Razor Leaf. So yeah, that was a misplay. I should have gone for the fighting energy there. But that's alright. Oh, he's going to Guzma, he's going to take down Gabite. Yep. Which is actually okay, because we'll be able to Cynthia, and all I have to do is hit Rare Candy or Garchomp. Let's see here, let me think this through. So we're gonna put this here. Let's see what we're looking at. We have used no Rare Candy and no Dragon Garchomp yet. So, in theory, we should be able to retreat this Garchomp, put Gible up, Multi Switch. I'll put a Float Stone on the Gible just to be safe. We'll Cynthia and go for broke. If we hit Rare Candy or Garchomp, we can knock this out. We hit Rare Candy and Garchomp, so we don't even need... whew. Alright. I'm done sweating now. Of course, that Float Stone's useless, but that's okay. Alright, so we have one more Gible in our deck. Let's grab him. Oh no, we don't. Must be prized. That's okay, we'll grab the Rockruff, because if we need to take an ice knockout next turn and can't for some reason, which we should be able to because we have Lucario, we can get Cynthia, so we should be fine. So there's 2 prizes. And I'm very pleased with how this is going. Like I said, right before we hopped on here, there's our other Gible. Right before we hopped on here, we played this match, and I mean, my setup was just terrible, and his setup was amazing. He didn't even get the Grand Bloom off, and he was just wrecking me. So, yeah, so pretty solid here. So what's he swinging for? He's swinging for 140. And let's see, did he use a supporter this turn? No, he hasn't used a supporter. So if he happens to have a Kukui, he could knock us out. He's played 1. There's a stretcher. Guzma. I'm going to take down Lucario. Which is smart, because then he prevents me from using Cynthia, but I have a Lele in my hand, which he does not know. So, I mean, and honestly, like, that's the best option he could have gone with, and we have just enough to hit him. Let me make sure. We do have Cynthia in deck, right? Oh, I doubt that's our last one. We have Pal Pad anyway, just to be safe. And we'll Lele. We'll grab one of those Cynthia. And we'll take the knockout. Yeah, and he knows it. And that was a close match. That is, in all my testing, that has been the deck that this one has had the most trouble with. Besides, actually, like, other 1-prize decks can actually do fairly decent against this. It's typically the 2-prize decks that just do terrible against it, but that is the best 2-prize deck against this one that I've gone up against so far. So Matt definitely came out strong with that one. And made me think I was taking an L there to start things off. So let's challenge him again for round 2, and we will see what he chose for his second one. I've seen a lot of what he's playing right now, so I can only imagine what he could be playing. Some of them I've done really well against. That was the only one I've done really bad against with this deck. But there are some that I haven't played against that I used Decidueye Glaceon against, and so we'll see what he has here. He might take a minute getting it. I hear the office music playing upstairs. That's awesome. Grass Dark. Oh, okay. All right. So he's gonna actually get to test this one. So this was one I played against him with my Glaceon Decidueye list. So it was kind of rendered useless, but he is playing a, what is it, Golisopod Zoroark list with the new Dawn Wings Necrozma, kind of like Keldeo, to be able to switch in and out. But of course I got turn 1 Glaceon against him, and it shut that down completely, made his deck useless. So, alright, so this is a bad start. We still get the Lele. More mulligans. I cannot believe that. I mean, I can believe one, but to get more than one, it just doesn't happen that often. I'm surprised we were able to win last time, being 4 mulligans behind. So, yep, this is the exact same start he had against me before. And it's a really, really cool concept. Obviously, he plays the Float Stones, be able to swap this thing in and out. So, he's off to a good start. We're going to be at a decent start, not the best. No energy, that's the biggest issue. But we'll see what we can do. Okay. Alright, so now this is good. We'll be able to fill up our bench. So let's see, we got all of our Cynthias. We are missing 1 Guzma. We have our ends. We have all of our Garchomp lines, all of our Lucario, all of our Lycanroc. That's good. We prized a puzzle. Or no, we have one in our hand, excuse me. We prized a rare candy. No, we only run 3, that's right. Prized an Ultra Balls 1, Choice Band 2, a DCE is 3, a Fighting Energy is 4, and both of our Strong Energies. So, Strong Energy is not core to this deck. It's more, I would call it kind of a spice card. So we'll get 2 Gible and a Riolu, because he's going to be taking fast knockouts with this deck. Alright, so next turn we will have a Gible. I would much rather prefer to get a Garchomp up, but that's okay. And here he goes. He's going to start swinging hard. 2 Galicipods up and a Zoroark. Oh my gosh. 2 Zoroarks. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Busted. Absolutely busted. Doesn't even need the Evo Soda. Doesn't matter. So the big plus about this is the only time he can one-shot one of our Garchomps is with Crossing Cut. And of course if it's against this Garchomp, he can one-shot it with other stuff because of the weakness. But, so he'll definitely be able to one-shot us one time, but it's just the speed that he's going to have a strong advantage over us. So we are going to get this Garchomp off, which is good. We can start doing some damage with him potentially. If not, it is just something to be set up with. I'm going to put this on this guy because we're going to want it with our other Garchomp to one-shot. And there he is. Actually, probably should put it on this guy. That's okay. We have more. And we'll click done. So really what we need this next turn is we need to top deck a Cynthia or top deck a Lucario. So then we can do 200 against Gallicipod, but we need a Choice Band. That's our biggest struggle. But if we're able to get the Cynthia, then we'll probably be able to get the Choice Band. Because off the Cynthia, we could either hit the Choice Band or we could hit Lucario and get it. But he's going to take down, oh, he's going to take down that Garchomp. That's actually okay. Yeah, that's actually okay. Because I would much rather this Gabite stay safe with the energy than that Garchomp. We get Lucario, look at that. Alright. So we're going to put this DCE on. Use Garchomp. Yeah, man, I should have put that Choice Band on the other one. That was a misplay. But we've still got 3 of them. So off this Cynthia, we need to try to hit one. If not, that could really cause us some issues because he probably plays Acerola. And there's Choice Band. Alright. And yeah, so the only way he'll be able to one-shot us after this is by using his GX on this guy, and then that's the one time he can use it. And hopefully he doesn't have it, but off all those cards, he's bound to have it. We have a Strong Energy. That could be relevant against this guy. Because on a Lucario, with a Choice Band, you one-shot it. I would prefer it to be on this Garchomp, though. Which, if I get my puzzles, I can do that. For now, I'll probably have to use Lele DCE to start attacking to do some better damage. But we can actually get a Garchomp out onto Gible. So... yeah. Okay. Actually, oh man, things just got interesting. So I can grab out this Garchomp and this Choice Band, and I can Guzma. Yep, alright, cool. And take down a Zoroark. 8110, yeah. And put energy elsewhere. Put 2 cards. So we're gonna grab, oh, not you. This guy. This guy. And the free retreat on Garchomp is just so good. Oh, I didn't need the Choice Band. We already had one on him. Oh, that was stupid. I could have gotten another Gible on my bench. That would have been preferable. Hold on to Pal Pad for now. Let me see, 60, 80, 110. So that will one-shot him. So let's use Precognitive Aura. We will grab out Guzma. And I need to Ultra Ball to get a Gible out. I hope I didn't screw that up by not, yeah, I did screw it up by not getting a Gible. Hate to do this after I just grabbed it, but I gotta dump that. Grab my last Gible in deck. So we may have had a strong start to this, but we may have just messed ourselves up. So we'll get the one with the Float Stone. We'll one-shot it. We'll attach some energy. Okay. Now what I would actually love him to do is to not take out the active and to take out anything else. Like, I really couldn't care less, because then I can use Lucario again to grab a Guzma and take out his other Zoroark. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's smarter than that, but you know, we'll just see. Maybe he's not. Sorry, Matt. I know you'll probably watch this, but we'll see. We will see. Because he can one-shot that Garchomp, no problem. But he can also one-shot my Gible or my Lucario, which actually the worst thing that he could do for me is to take out my Lucario. That would hurt me the most. Ending me to 2 kind of sucks, unless I can somehow keep a Garchomp out there. So he's definitely going to take that Garchomp out, and he's not using a Guzma. There's a Gabite. That's not bad. It's actually pretty good because he won't be able to one-shot this this guy whenever I use Ascension. So we may still have this because we can Ascension into Garchomp. So all we'll need is a Choice Band Cynthia. So our deck's thinning up a bit. If we top deck the Choice Band, that'd be great. We'd also need another energy, of course, which we have, I believe, a fairly good amount. We have 3 more fighting energy in there and 3 more DCE. So we have a good shot hitting that off of a Cynthia. But I really need to make sure I hit the Choice Band. So if I don't hit the Choice Band, then it's useless. He could easily just Acerola it, which I haven't seen so far, but he does play Max Potion. Yeah, he does play Acerola. Okay. So he's got a few different outs. Looks like he doesn't have his other Golisopod. Alright. So this really just comes down to draws off of this next Cynthia. Because we know we're going to have a Cynthia. Oh, and he's just going to hold off. Oh, he's going to take something else out. Lucario. Yeah, of course. Ah, man. That hurts. Alright, so we need to get a Cynthia. Like, that's it. We have to get a Cynthia. That hurts bad. Alright. That would be my word of advice to everyone if you're playing against Garchomp. Take down their Lucarios. Like, that's their strongest thing. I'm actually gonna, that's why he did it. I'm gonna quick dive the active, because he can't one-shot me. So this way I don't need a Choice Band. I would just need Cynthia. Cynthia and energy, of course. So we'll see. And if I can't, yeah, all he has to do is take down Lele, though. If he gets a Guzma, then Lele's done for. There's the Guzma. Good game. Alright. So now we see how that one does against something that doesn't shut off its abilities. And like I said, taking down Lucario was the play of the game. Had he not taken down Lucario, I would have had that turn, gotten to Cynthia, probably gotten my energy and Choice Band, and he would have been done for. So, alright, well that's 2 in the books. Let's see if I can take him on this last one. I'd really, really like to. This deck is quickly becoming like one of my favorite decks. If not, it is at least my favorite one prize deck, which I don't have many of those I play, but as far as one prize decks, like this is probably my favorite one right now. So, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this in my last video. I think I may have forgotten to mention it, but I do want to say thank you to everyone that's subscribed lately. We've had a ton of subscribers come recently. We passed the 100 subscriber mark, which is huge. I was really looking to get there, and we got there faster than I anticipated. I was expecting sometime in February or maybe even March that we'd hit that based on how we were going, but the mid to late January segment, it just surged out of nowhere. And actually we got over 100 on February 1st, so just a day off there. So thank you very much to everyone that has subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, you still have time. There's always time to subscribe, so please do so. Okay, so it looks like we have a good start. He has a bad start. I'm not going to attach that there because he could knock me out with his Lele, and I have no idea what he's playing. I didn't look at his typing, but that's okay. That's how tournaments are. You're never going to know what your opponent's playing. Alright, so we're going to be able to bridge it. We're going to get 2 Gible and a Lucario. That's typically what we grab with this, depending on what we start with. But we want to get as many Gible out there as possible. And we'll put a DCE on our Gible. And we'll click done for now. So now he's on top decks. That had to have been a Pokemon. Or, yeah, he's got Brigette, of course. So even though he started... Oh, he's doing the mirror match. Oh, man. This will be interesting. That means it's based all on skill. Alright. So the key is taking the right knockouts. Lucario and their 2 prize supports, Lele. If you guys watched the profile I did of this before, you'll remember I mentioned that the Lycanroc inclusion, that was Matt's idea that he brought to me, and we chose to include it in this list. So yeah, and there it is. So he knows this deck as well as I do. I may know it a little bit more. I've tested with it a lot more than he has. I really, really enjoy the deck. So I've got the better. Yeah, that's true. I do. Let's bring this guy up. Use Ascension. Oh, and that was a misplay. I should have looked through my deck to see what I had missing. I know I had Garchomp there. Which, if I can top deck Garchomp on this next one, or Ultra Ball, then we can grab a Cynthia. I won't use it against Rockruff, of course, but I'll have it, you know, just to hold on to in case Lucario goes down for some reason. All right, so he's got a Cynthia. He doesn't have the energy to use, though, so that's good for us. He's not going to have that. He is going to get a Garchomp out. He could possibly get his Lucario as well, so he could be a step ahead of us in one way. He's going to grab the Energy Acceleration one. Or that's what he had in his hand. And I don't know if he's using single. Yeah, he's using single. Surprisingly, there have been a lot of times where I've used single puzzles, and it's made a difference in my game. Alright, so we top decked Cynthia. I would have rather just top decked Garchomp, but that's okay. We don't get Garchomp. Are you kidding me? That's fine. We will Ascension. We'll grab this guy. And then next turn we'll use Lucario to grab more Garchomp. Or actually, we'll use Lucario to grab... no, I don't use it to grab Lycanroc because... Well, I could take down this Gabite. Alright, so he's going to N us, which is okay, because there are some other things I'd rather have, like energy. And we get it. We get Ultra Ball, we get Multi Switch, so we can do some nasty stuff. So he has his Lucario, now he can get what he needs. That is something I don't play on my list. I don't play Evo Soda. I can't remember. We had talked about that. I can't remember what he cut to make it fit. I don't know. Yeah, actually what I should do is use Lucario to get Rockruff, or not Rockruff, Lycanroc, and then play Cynthia and then one-shot his Garchomp. I think that's the play. Float Stone, he's going to start sniping. So I don't even need to grab Lycanroc yet. He's just going to take down Gibbles, which is fine. That is okay. Oh dang, all the Ultra Balls. Let's attach here. Cynthia. Hope we can hit a Gabite. Which actually, we don't need to yet. We'll hold off there, because he's not going to be able to snipe our Gible anymore. We'll Royal Blades take down his main Garchomp, which, see, you can already tell it makes a difference having more than 2 Gible out, especially in the mirror match when you can snipe. I didn't even think about that, so nice little snipe there. He did less work for the same amount of prizes, which that right there is going to be an issue anytime you play this list, or this mirror. You're going to have to watch out for that. And this is going to be a mirror you play a lot of. I have a good feeling, because it's a really good deck. So any tournaments you go to, you're probably going to have to deal with a mirror match. Alright, so he's going to double supporter this turn. He's going to take down this Gible, I bet. Or a Rockruff. Either one I could see him taking. Which again sucks, because he's doing less work for the same amount of prizes that one of the big ones worth. But we can follow up with a knockout on it. Oh, he's going to take Lucario. Oh wait, no, he's not even taking it, because it's not worth as many. Alright, he's going to NS, which stinks. I needed that Float Stone. Because I could Float Stone Cynthia, take down Lycanroc, and get another Gible. That's good news. But I have DCE, I can get him out of there. Okay, what you doing, Matt? I don't know if you planned on stalling me or what. I was trying to think about what he needed. That Lucario is such a strong card. Okay, so he probably grabbed a second puzzle. So what's he gonna grab? His Garchomp, and yeah. So we actually need to take down Gible. And if I remember, he only plays one Float Stone too. So I could almost Guzma up his Lucario or Lele or something and snipe Gible. Oh, does he have rare candy? Yeah, I bet he does. He's going to accelerate the energy. He's probably got rare candy in hand. He's going to Evo Soda for that second Riolu, or Lucario, which is a big deal, but he's using it so he can build this guy. Oh boy. So, let's do that for sure. Dump those. Grab Lycanroc to stall Lucario. Actually, if I grab Lycanroc, I could pull out his Lycanroc. DCE, retreat, Cynthia, take down Lycanroc. But I feel like, no, the bigger threat is Gible for sure. So we're going to stall Lucario. We're going to use Precognitive Aura. Grab ourselves a Float Stone. Attach here. Play our N. Which was actually awesome because we can Ultra Ball, grab ourselves a Garchomp. I'll actually get rid of this since I have Lucario. So we now have 2 Garchomp, which kind of shores up a game for you if you have 2, because then if they knock the one out, you can just follow it up with another knockout. We're not taking down the active, we're going to take down an easier prize. Worth the same, but less work, and you're taking down the bigger threat. Lucario's not the threat. Lucario is definitely very, very important in the match, but Lucario is not the threat. Okay. Now the biggest issue is going to be Lycanroc for us. What would be awesome is if we could get ourselves Energy, Multi Switch, Guzma, and take down his Lycanroc with our GX attack. That'll be the best way to do that. Unless he brings him to the active, of course, because then we can just Lucario for a Cynthia and take it out. I'm not even sure what my best course of action would be as far as which thing to take out. Now that I've used Lycanroc, it kind of makes it more difficult to make real slick plays. If we got a second, let's see. Second puzzle could get us the Guzma Fighting Energy. Okay, is he going to be able to take down this guy? If he gets another Fighting Energy, he does. No, he doesn't. Oh, no, yeah, it doesn't need another Fighting Energy. He just has it. Okay, so now is the hard part for us. We don't have our draw support, our major draw support. But we have double puzzle, so we can grab Cynthia and Riolu. Wow, okay, awesome. If you're not playing puzzles in your Garchomp list, you're doing something wrong. You need to absolutely be playing puzzles. Puzzles and Pal Pad. And you will never be lacking what you need. Trust me. Alright, so put this guy down. Next turn we have Ultra Ball to get Lucario, and we can do the spicy plays. Alright, so no more Garchomp to deal with. He is now essentially playing a Lycanroc list. If he takes down my Lycanroc, that's fine. I have Garchomp and a Cynthia. I can do what I need. I have 2 Garchomp to back up, so I'm going to be able to take his Lycanroc down one way or the other. He can't take both Garchomp and Lycanroc at the same time. It's just not possible. So I'm calling it early. We have this match since we have everything so well set up. I mean, we just have backup on backup on backup. So definitely not worried about it. If he leaves Layla in the active, we have Cynthia. We can take that out. That's fine. But I'll probably just this next turn grab Lucario from the deck. And okay, it looks like he might be using Lycanroc. But anyway, what I'll probably do is, yep, okay, so I don't need to do what I was going to do. So let me make sure I'm doing this math right. 150, 160, 170, 190, 220 with the Choice Band. Alright, so my Lycanroc is going to take down his Lycanroc. So I'm getting more mileage out of mine. And we will Ultra Ball. We will... I hate dumping puzzles, but that's probably the best thing to dump right now. We'll grab our other Lucario. And then we'll, let's see, we could, nope, no rare candy. And this is where I scoop. Yeah, he knows it's coming. I'm gonna grab Gabite. He's gonna be nice and let us play it out. We're gonna hold Cynthia for next turn. There's our other Riolu. He's gonna try swinging with Lele. I can actually take the final knockout with Lycanroc. I can just Lucario for an energy, so he's swinging for 180 and taking down Lele. All right, so guys, I hope that you've really enjoyed watching these matchups. It's been ton of fun for me playing it out for sure. I was really nervous coming up against this mirror match. I will say that it was not something I expected him to pull out of nowhere, but that's what Matt likes to do. He likes to surprise me, so we'll surprise him and take our last prize with Lycanroc. And there we go. And actually, guys, let's see, today's Sunday. When the video is coming out, it'll be Monday. It'll be Matt's birthday. So Matt, happy birthday. We really appreciate you playing those games with me. Sorry I beat you 2 out of 3, but it is what it is. And for the viewers, make sure to comment down in the comments. Tell Matt thanks for helping me out, and tell him happy birthday. I know he'd greatly enjoy it. He'll be 23, I believe. So Matt, happy 23rd. And to the rest of you, here's the Garchomp Lucario list that we were just playing. Please be sure to build it. Try it out. Let me know how it does for you. If there's any tweaks you might make, let me know. I'm always looking for constructive criticism. But to this point, this seems to work really, really well for me. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video, especially if you enjoyed the list. Please leave a like. And if you are new to the channel, or maybe you've been watching for a while and you just haven't subscribed yet, please be sure to hit that subscribe. Like I said, we passed 100 and we're trying to get hundreds and hundreds more. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and as usual, I have been Jordan with the Deck Box, where we want to know what's in your box. Have a great day, guys.